we were
safe.
never
They
doing
played
enough.
safer than even Clone Wars played it safe because it's on Disney XD and all that nonsense.
Yeah.
They played it safer than they should have and could have.
I just don't know why they didn't give
just-
like Rebels a budget, because the animation is just so fucking ugly in comparison to
It
Clone
is.
Wars.
No,
It's like,
that's
why?
100%. Like, if you watch Bad Batch, Billy, which don't have to.
I might at
point
some
is,
point, at least parts of it.
The
Yeah.
animation and art style by Bad
Oh yeah,
Batch
it
is
was up.
like it's at the point where they will show Coruscant and the Jedi Temple and it looks better than like the prequel version. Like it's at that level. Like
Yeah.
I love the prequels. It's at that level, and it's like, wow. And you know what's even funnier? That version in Bad Batch is better than the Acolyte version.
Yeah, no, I heard the Acolyte version was like trash. Yeah, that's kind of funny.
Like it looks like shit.
I think I saw it, and yeah, it literally looked like they just plopped a model in the middle of like a weird
Yeah,
background.
it looks like a block they dropped on like an AI city. And it's like, really? And the fact is, every episode, and I heard this recently, every single episode of Acolyte has more of a budget than Godzilla -1.
That is sad.
Every episode
Really?
has more of a... Yes, that was something I heard someone say. Every episode has more of a budget than Godzilla -1.
If
And
true, that is
I didn't
fucking
see all of
sad.
Godzilla -1, but that movie was gorgeous.
It does, yeah.
Godzilla looked fantastic. He was like on the same level.
He's not
if
super
better than
realistic,
Hollywood.
to be fair, because it is like, you know, it's like, it's
No,
not
it's
like
not.
super
it's
high
still-
budget, but it
I
still
will
looks
say
good,
that
yeah.
Overall, that definitely had like the best human characters.
That too, yeah, the story was the best,
Compared
yeah.
to both of the Hollywood versions, yes.
Well, really,
Yeah.
any
Oh, yes.
version. Like I've
Well, if you
seen a
want to say
lot
that
of the.
too, I don't have a lot of experience, but
So I've
what I've
watched
seen-
a decent amount of the Japanese versions.
Yeah.
Like just as like at least a good handful. And I would say that like Shin Godzilla, which is your closest to like a grounded Godzilla movie, I'd say they're better than them. I watched one where it's even more of a goofy one, where it was like Godzilla Final Wars, in which you had like weird like superhero.
Oh, we
hero,
watched
like-
it, don't worry.
Yeah, you watched it. And you didn't enjoy it as much as I did.
Again, to be fair, if they had the one character who was like actually just speaking English the whole time and he was the only one, that would have been funnier, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't like. So that was just a specific version of dub that I had watched. I don't understand.
one of the
why
only
that-
Japanese Godzilla movies I remember watching is with the group is with Japanese people that looked like they were in white Power Rangers, and there was one American like sergeant guy who still spoke Japanese. I
And
love
he-
that one.
That was Final,
Final
Wars.
Wars
That was
is
it.
definitely like, yeah, it was great, but at the end of the day, the human characters like they didn't have like as
No,
good
yeah.
or as relatable as, or at least as likable. Because I mean, like what the characters were doing in -1. Was
I
just
will
so
say,
great.
as much as I do actually enjoy the Hollywood Godzilla movies that came out recently, because I do
Yeah.
enjoy them with the
the MonsterVerse.
yes, but if we're talking human characters in those movies, I felt a lot more when it came to -1. That
Well,
Asian
easily,
guy and
yeah.
his
To be honest,
wife.
I think my take is like the MonsterVerse movies. Like, I prefer a lot of other Godzillas over that one.
That's
I
fair.
feel like
I haven't engaged with a lot of those ones. To be
I
fair.
feel like a lot of the MonsterVerse Godzillas that we see, like I'm fine with the take they have, in which he's sort of like
Yeah.
a Superman type, where it's like, all right,
Well, Man of Steel Superman specifically.
you know, when shit goes too wrong, you call in Godzilla and he goes and solves the problem. I'm fine with that. I'm just saying, like, compared to like a lot of other Godzillas in which there was more depth and more interest in their story and like symbolism, which they were
Yeah.
clearly like the atom bomb, whereas this one's just like a monster that settles stuff.
The only one
By the
with
way,
the only one where they
speaking
do
of
the
that
atom
dynamic-
bomb symbolism is the very first monster Godzilla movie. Yeah, American.
-1 and a bit of Shin. A bit of Shin that go into that.
Yeah, Godzilla 2014 is the only American
And
one where they
Godzilla
really
was
do
when
it.
he was like real gross with the pink and he kept evolving in the city.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
So I will
Which
say
I say gross, but like
I love
was
that
cool.
one, yeah.
Like, yeah.
that
I might like Shin
dynamic-
Godzilla a bit more because I think it's a bit more entertaining than -1.
like I've thought on this, like that dynamic of like Kong being like the smarter one who's less powerful, who kind of like encounters things first, and Godzilla being like the main one to go in and fight. I thought I'm like this would be great if it was Jason Voorhees and Michael Myers in like their own monster. If Michael Myers was like
everyone
Kong,
understands that Jason's the stronger one, but Michael's the smarter one.
if
So
like Michael Myers was like the smarter one who's like the first to encounter, and like he's clearly like a competitor against Jason, but he's not stronger than Jason, and when like shit goes wrong, he's like, all right, I'm getting my boy, and Jason Voorhees comes in to kill him. And I'm like, I would really like to see that done if we did a whole MonsterVerse of slashers.
The fan films always put them against each other, but it's why Jason and Freddy worked and why they wouldn't. You have one guy who talks a ton, he can make up for the other guy, and the other guy doesn't talk.
If
you
anything,
can't have two completely silent.
If anything, based off a Leatherface comic crossover that they had, Jason might just be more inclined to be like an older brother figure to Michael.
Yeah. Although I think, actually, they'd be close in age. If we were to go like beat for beat, they'd be close, but one
it'd either be
older than the other.
it'd probably be Michael as the older one because he has
I'm
been
not sure
around
because
longer.
in '78, no, Jason would be older. Because in give me a second here. Let me back my brain. So he was 6. He came back 15 years later, and he was 21 when he came back. So 21 minus 15, that's 6. So he was 6 when he first killed his sister. Oh man. Either way, it's close. But one would be older than the other for sure. But I think it is close.
Michael's movies came first.
They do, but I think Jason was like 12 in the 50s. Don't think Michael was. That's close, actually. It is close. I think Jason might be older by a hair, if I were to really rack my brain. But it's more complicated because I don't know when. Actually, I do. Yeah, they did say the year Halloween 1 took place because they did the bum 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 bum. You know, like they actually went and showed the current year, which may have been '78. The year was released. Oh man. So 20. Let's just say for just real quick. 78 minus 21. That's 57. And Jason was like 12 in the 50s. So I think Jason is probably older than Michael, if I were to guess.
So I would be completely fine if like there was like a slasher verse and like Jason was like top guy that you go to if you really want to hit people down. But Michael was always the first one to encounter them and like learn the strategies against them. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, because they're both stalkers, but Michael's known for like. Hey, that's why I love both of them, because they both have different fears. Jason's the guy you fear if you're in the woods camping or if you're at a campground, and he's the hillbilly. He's out there. Maybe you get fucked up by him. Michael's the suburban killer. Michael's like you're in the regular town, suburban, just chilling. He's the everyday, and both of them cover that. And I like the difference, you know. And you know, Jason's stronger, yeah. But I feel like the reason I like Michael more is because one, he has no motive, and two, because he's more. He's almost like Ghostface, where it's more realistic. Where it's like you could see that happening, some guy just being fucked up in a regular town, no reason, no rhyme.
Yeah.
Going after something. You know what I mean?
No
Jason,
conscience, no understanding.
Yeah. And that's why I don't like the Rob Zombie movie. I do think we should still watch Halloween Rob Zombie remake just to you know, just so we have an idea of what it is.
It's
you know what I mean?
way too much motive. Way too much. Yeah.
Way too much. And actually, Billy, Rob Zombie wanted to make a most of the movie about his younger self, like young Michael. He wanted to make most of the movie about that, but the producers were like, well, they're here for Michael, so we should probably do. So we made it half and half, which is like still a lot, especially when your whole idea for Michael as a kid is just like normal serial killer kid shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was bullied, he had a bad home life. It's just so basic.
It's just generic, yeah.
And it's like, and I never liked Michael at my favorite Halloween 1 started Halloween movie, not because it's the first, but because there is no motive.
He's creepiest,
just
yeah.
He's just that guy. And I think that's why I love the recent trilogy, even if it wasn't perfect, which is not.
They're at least
Definitely
trying,
stepped up a couple
yeah,
of
to follow along
But
that.
they stuck with that. It's not like he was in a cult.
And he just
didn't
wanted
have
to
something
kill
then against his
Lori or
family.
whatever, yeah.
Yeah, he just wanted to kill people. Lori just happened to be the chick that he got fascinated with in that movie. There's no rhyme and reason.
Yeah.
And that's why in 2018, he had no goal to go after Lori because he didn't really give a shit. It was just that chick that night that showed up at his house. He went to his house. Lori went to his house. And so he got obsessed. He's not obsessed with that chick anymore.
Yeah, I'm kind of
I thought
okay.
that, I like how it was the doctor. You know, Josh, I actually like how your first introduction was 2018 because that's not a bad movie to get introduced to. 'Cause I
Yeah.
actually feel like that is one of the best. It's not one of. It's definitely my top 5. I think my top 5 is like Halloween 1, 2, 4, 2018, and honestly, Kills might be my 5th, just for the simple fact that it's fun seeing Michael like just go off.
Yeah.
I don't know what other movie compares to it. Like maybe Halloween 6, because that's another Michael interpretation that I enjoy. But the story is just all over the place.
Like I was saying, is like I would much enjoy a MonsterVerse with those dynamics. You want to make like a Mothra type? I guess that could be like Carrie because she's like in a similar vein to Michael or to Jason.
Oh, to
Billy,
yeah.
I'm sure everyone here already knows. Part 7 was supposed to have Carrie for Friday 15th.
Yeah.
Yep.
So like, I think you could definitely do that. I think you could really pull it off. If you really want a Ghidorah, it'd probably be Freddy Krueger. Freddy Krueger would probably be like a King Ghidorah type.
Wouldn't Hellraiser be more the King Ghidorah, and Freddy would be more of a Godzilla type in that
Did you know
case?
about that, Billy? The fact that they were going to make Halloween.
Halloween, fuck's sake.
Now, like, I can understand what you mean.
Oh wait, did you actually not hear about that, Billy? Because I could tell you about it.
You mean it's like Hellraiser and Halloween sort of thing?
Yes, but there's like a whole plot. Michael, so you know how they pulled the bullshit with Jason in part 9 where it's like, oh, he was brought back by the Necronomicon?
Yeah.
It was kind of like that with Michael, where Michael was taken over by the box. Like the box was found at his house. And basically Michael was just a regular kid and he got taken over by a demon through the box. Like Michael found the box.
That's at least fun,
and
I
he got
guess.
It's fun, but it's like
It is
it's another thing
stupid,
of,
yeah.
like it gives Michael like Michael's just like a vessel.
Yeah.
And it
no
just takes away
agency.
exactly. That's the perfect way to put it. It gives him no agency. It takes away his entire character, and it's a complete Hellraiser movie at that point. But the one thing I did like was that there was going to be a survivors meeting. It was going to be like people that survived tragic events, and they all met up together. It was going to be who was it going to be? I think Daniel Harris, and it was going to be the chick from Hellraiser, 1. Cotton, whatever her name was.
Someone.
The main chick from Hellraiser 1 and 2.
Kirsty. Yeah, Kirsty.
Kirsty Cotton, yes.
I never even knew she had a last name. I I just always remember Kirsty.
We watched those movies, and like I have no problems with those movies. I'm not gonna say they're bad by any means.
But you don't like them.
My type.
Yeah.
It wasn't my
They're
type.
They're cheesy 80s horror movies.
It wasn't cheesy, to be honest. It wasn't really like the cheesiness of it.
The
It was just like
effects were cheesy. It wasn't the story or the characters, but the effects were very like.
my
this is
problem is
80s.
like it just wasn't like the overall gore of it. Like it just wasn't my type. It wasn't like because it was like so like they treated the gore so sexually. I'm like this isn't really my
They
type
did.
of movie.
That was a huge part of it. And of course, the biggest sexual character in that was named Frank, so that's a great thing.
So
You
like
can never
guy was,
escape.
like, skinless,
wasn't
and he
my
was
type
hitting
of
on his
movie,
own
to be
niece.
But
Yeah.
like
It's
as
me, it's Uncle
Ghidorah,
Frank.
I can understand why you would say Hellraiser. The thing is like I don't see Pinhead as like the instigator. Ghidorah is usually like a mind my own business unless you
It-
mess
yeah.
with the box.
Well,
Whereas Freddy's
Josh.
totally an instigator
Yeah.
and would definitely go out of his way to try and take over the whole like slasher version.
yeah, but Freddy's not as
One thing I
powerful
will
as,
say,
as
Josh,
him
one
is
thing
the
I will
problem.
say, for the original plan for Freddy versus Jason versus Ash, and you probably heard this at this point because you know a lot about it.
Pinhead was gonna be
That
it.
movie that they planned with Freddy, Ash, Jason was gonna end with Pinhead,
Yeah.
yeah, in hell.
No,
So he
what
was
you
supposed to be involved.
Yeah. Now what you say, Billy, is like, well, he's not the strongest. Ghidorah isn't exactly the top pinnacle of the monster like
I get.
kaiju thing.
I meant like in the movie's context, they kind of act like he is. Like not literally. Like obviously, there's
Pinhead
more
and
powerful
Freddy are
ones later.
definitely the
But
top dogs when it comes to like the magical power shit.
yeah.
Now, of course, Ghidorah or like Freddy isn't the strongest. I definitely go to like Pinhead and like maybe a certain others that were like around there in the slasher type. But I will say that like I just don't see him in the instigator role of Ghidorah, where it's like Ghidorah goes out of his way to try and kill Godzilla or do whatever he can to annoy Godzilla, like in Final Wars.
Mhm.
I just don't see Pinhead really caring. I could see Pinhead being
Yeah.
in his own type of kaiju type role. where
He's
it's
always
like,
neutral. Yeah.
all right.
He's more like
you mess with me,
Rodon,
guess
if anything. Like where
Yeah,
he'll get
Rodon, it's
involved,
like-
but yeah.
all right, you mess with me. Guess what? Now I'm just ruining everything. I don't care.
Yeah.
That's where I see. But Ghidorah's like an instigator. He's like a proper villain that will do whatever he wants.
Yeah. So
that's
yeah,
why
you
I
want
say
Freddy. Yeah.
Freddy is
Yeah.
probably that Ghidorah role.
Yeah, you're not wrong in that case.
But Pinhead, I'm fine with being like the top guy. That you're like, all right, we have to put all of our forces together.
Oh yeah, yeah. He could be their version of like Mecha Godzilla, maybe in that case.
Yeah, well, yeah, for that monster was included even in the real like Japanese era monster. Like, there's also Space Godzilla, who's probably stronger than. Like,
Well, Hellraiser was in space.
yeah, there was that one.
We don't talk about that one, but you know, the one written by Alan Smithy because the guy was so embarrassed he never even wanted to associate his name with it.
Yeah. That's my opinion on the whole slashers and who would be who. I can see
Yeah.
Carrie being Mothra, Michael being Kong, and Jason being the Godzilla.
Yeah, that makes sense because Jason's also pure, just like brute force death. So
Yeah, he's the whole embodiment of those emotions, and like he would definitely be the guy where Michael's like, all right, I can't be these guys. Jason, you want to come back me up? And they both come from very similar backgrounds of, we were ostracized people who were just put away, and now we want to go kill people for the sake of killing people.
sure.
Even
Yeah.
though Jason sort of has a motive in which his mom's constantly telling him in his head, go kill these people.
And that's, you know what, that's a simple motive that I enjoy.
Yeah,
That's fine.
it's
me.
it's good for the movies, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to be
And
honest,
it's
Godzilla's
not-
whole
it's not
thing
even
is
just
like,
that, it's
I
also-
want to bring balance. So, like,
It's not
it
even
kind
just
of works.
that. It's also the fact that he looks back at the camp, and his original drowning was of his mom or anything. It was because the counselors weren't watching him. The kids bullied him, so that's why he looks at the counselors at these camps. It's like you're gonna get all these kids, and that's another thing. I'm interrupting myself at this point, but some of the writers of Friday the 13th didn't like how he didn't kill kids, and some do. I think
I prefer
it's a
that he
good-
doesn't.
Like part 6. I
Well,
prefer that he doesn't
did
as well.
try
Part
to
6,
kill Tommy, didn't he? And
That's
Tommy
the
was the
thing, he
younger
did.
one.
He did.
He did. That's the one thing that kind of throws a hiccup in the whole thing.
Well, with Tommy,
Part 6.
Tommy, you could argue
The
it's
writer
like he
for
was a
part
bit more.
6, which is my
direct.
favorite movie in the series,
Yeah.
was like Jason wouldn't kill kids because he doesn't blame kids for what happened. He blames the counselors, and he blames. And I think overall, even though it doesn't really fit with what we've seen, I think overall that makes sense. If you're going off of part 1 and only part 1 alone, that makes the most sense. He wouldn't blame the kids. He'd blame the counselors for allowing it to happen. and
So,
he'd blame,
in a way, I
you know,
think
all
he
that.
would fit. He would fit the Godzilla role of I want to bring balance. He doesn't blame the kids who are young and haven't made the mistakes, but he blames the adults who have constantly ruined things. That's
Yeah.
why I think he would fit that role. What was I? Yeah, so I would say
Where was I going?
a
with that?
surprising thing I learned.
Yeah.
It's like comics. Jason definitely has more depth to him than the movies ever gave him.
I'm sure it gets into like his mindset. So like, in what way?
Yeah. So there was this one thing. I'll ignore the weird origin they decided to give into Jason and why he's psychotic. But there was like this one instance in which Jason's terrorizing this group that came to like Crystal Lake to repair it.
Yeah.
And there's this one girl who like has psychotic episodes if she doesn't take her medicine, and she had a psychotic episode breakdown and killed the guy. And Jason shows up and he sees that she's already killed a guy, and he's like, "Oh, are you on my side?" And he like
What is this?
he doesn't initially kill her. He grabs her up like bridal carry style, and walks her away from the camp, and he offers her his machete. He's like, "Do you wish to join me? Are you about this?"
Are you about this
And-
life?
Unfortunately, the girl says no, but then
Josh, I'm sure you read it. Did you read the comic where it's Jason and he meets a kid who was being bullied and he kind of takes him under?
yes.
Yeah.
That's
I
another
love
one
that comic. I love that one.
where he does like I said, the comics give Jason way more depth.
They do, and it's not even through lines. It's just through like arcs, like through his character.
But
And
that
it's great.
like did decide to give Jason like a weird origin into how he's like why he is the way he is. So I'm not too like positive.
Wait, was
on
it in that comic?
Yeah, it was in that comic where
wow.
they said the reason why Jason is so like hate-filled and constantly trying to kill people that are at the lake is because like 100 years ago
No,
there
for
was a
fuck's
Native
sake, I already
American
hate it.
Oh God, you already lost me.
Yeah.
It's like some
A native-
shining shit.
a Native American tribe was slaughtered by this group of people, and the shaman chief, like caused a curse on the land and said, there will be like in 100 years or something, there'll be a vessel who will take on all of our hatred on these people.
That's stupid.
And so it was
Yeah, I'm
just
sorry.
hanging around in Crystal Lake until Jason showed up. Was like, oh, so this will be our vessel.
They're doing
You
the
know,
same shit that they did with Michael. They're giving Jason an unnecessary.
That's too much, yeah.
motive. He already has a simple, easy to understand motive.
Yeah.
He was bullied, so he goes against the camp counselors, and also the most important one, probably to him, is that his mom was killed by a camp counselor. So there you go. That's it. That's all you need.
Simple, easy to remember.
And that's okay. Like, I like Michael because he does have a motive, and I like Jason for his motive. You know what I mean? Like, it's not bad to have a motive, but as long as the motive's like, I don't know, not basic. You know, like there's some substance to it.
There's at least something
Like,
going
he
on.
watched his mom being decapitated by a camp counselor, and in his mind, the same camp counselors that allowed him to drown the first time, right? You know what I mean? So like,
Yeah.
fuck camp
I
counselors.
don't.
I'm gonna make sure
like
no
how-
kid goes through
I
this.
I don't like how the comics handle Jason's origin. They always mess with it in weird ways, in which they make Jason like a psychotic kid that tortured animals before
I don't
he
like that
drowned.
either.
No, that's too
But-
much.
That's what they
So,
did with Michael. That's what they did with Michael in the Rob Zombie ones. They said, "Oh, he started with animals, and then he got to the bullies at his school." And
It's too obvious, yeah.
it's too like common. It's just a regular serial killer at that point. And the only thing that makes
That-
Michael special in
I
those
mean-
movies is that he's like 7 foot tall,
I mean,
and he
it's
played a good Michael.
basically-
It's nothing against the actor. I mean, they hired him. He did a good job, but
Yeah.
It's set
It's not
plain
plain, like-
out and easy for you if you just watch
Yeah.
Scream 1, in which Loomis said, like Billy Loomis says, "Oh, I don't have a motive. That's scary, right? You can't understand me now. It's a lot scary
Yeah.
when there's an emotive now, isn't there?"
Mhm.
yeah. Honestly, Scream 1 I think is not
yeah, I
underrated
definitely
because
put
people love Scream 1, so it's not underrated. But I think it is one of like the greatest slasher movies.
I do definitely like the Scream franchise. I would say the Scream franchise is easily the most consistent out of the slasher bunch that we've seen in the old era.
I'm hoping Scream 7 is going in the right direction, and I think it's so hilarious because I called it. I knew shit wasn't gonna work out, and they'd call up Sydney because Sydney wasn't gonna be in Scream 7 and she wasn't in Scream 6 because they didn't pay her enough. They didn't pay her enough for it, so she tapped out Scream 6. So now the one chick was like, "Oh, free Palestine or free Israel or whatever she said." I don't even know her opinion. Either way, they don't have her anymore. So they're like, "Hey, Sydney, what was the paycheck you wanted?"
Oh yeah, we'll give it. Yeah, yeah, sure, we got it. We got it
That's
all.
literally what happened, and it's like, okay, hopefully the story's good enough. I don't know where they're gonna go, but we'll see.
So wait, which chick was it? Was it like the older sister, or was it
It was
the?
the older sister. It was the one that was actually directly related to Billy Loomis.
Yes.
Okay, so it wasn't the. Yeah, okay, because I prefer the
However,
younger sister. Yeah.
The younger
sister, I think there's
isn't going to be able to show up either.
Yeah.
Because
she's busy with Wednesday.
Oh, they're doing season 2 of Wednesday. I guess that makes sense.
I didn't watch that show, but it was very popular, and she seemed very good in the role. So
I haven't seen the whole thing, but I'm enjoying it because my girlfriend wanted to watch it because she likes that sort of stuff. But yeah, it's fun.
It's fine. Because honestly, I felt really uncomfortable with her role in Scream 6 because I think I said this. She feels like a female Tom Holland, where she is.
She seems too young.
But she's so young that it feels really uncomfortable.
And here's the thing, I do find her attractive because it depends on the role. It really does, because some roles she actually does look her age, and other roles like in Scream where they really age her down, it's like she looks like she's 15 or 16. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and she
like
gets
Wednesday, she looks like a goth chick that's
Wednesday,
I could see her being her age.
She's in Wednesday. In Wednesday, she's
she
supposed to be a
comes
teenager too. She's supposed to be.
Yeah. And she comes off like that. And it makes it it's just like.
Well, in Wednesday they at least don't. They at least don't
sexualize.
I said she's like a female Tom Holland, in which you don't look like the age you're trying to be.
Because Tom Holland has that face that hasn't changed in like 10 years. He's older than us, and I don't think he looks any older than any of us.
Not really.
He just has that face. Like, I think he's 25 or 26. And it's like, really? And I think part of it is his voice. He has that high-pitched voice, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he does.
Okay, you're a kid. You're a teenager. That's just his voice.
Like sort of the Josh Keaton voice. I guess Josh Keaton's is more deeper, but it still kind of works as like a teenage.
The voice actor of a Spectacular Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spectacular Spider-Man looks very.
Man, if we didn't have other things to watch,
I know.
wish we could watch. I understand we have other things to watch. Like, we should probably watch the Batman animated series, Batman Beyond first.
Nah, we should also do Daredevil first. We should get back to that. Like, cause it's not like I wasn't enjoying it. It's just that I like. It's hard to follow sometimes because it's like there's a lot of scenes where they're just kind of talking.
It's not just the action. It's not just there's a lot.
Fine with just getting through the Punisher arc at least, and then that's where I kind of stopped. Where I'm like, all right, I'm like, because
you know what?
My thing with this character,
because it's one of those shows. It's like that was the show's decent. You know what I mean? It's decent on its own, but that was the best arc. So I would be more than happy to just go through that arc.
That was the best arc, and the thing with that character is I really like Daredevil being street level, beating up thugs, and all these other regular people are doing actual real crimes. Once it got into the actual supervillain territory, I'm like, alright, I don't really care. Kingpin's good and all.
But I'm good with Elektra and all that. I'm good.
No.
His whole storyline, stopping the Japanese Yakuza, I'm like, I don't care at all.
Yeah.
I'd much rather just see.
It's one of those shows that's
a thug.
It sucks that it stopped because I feel like there's potential to continue, but it may have been good that it did stop. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would
because
say
I feel like there's not much more they could have done. That would have been actually worthwhile. Like season 3. What was the fight in Fisk's house or Wilson?
That was probably the later seasons. Kingpin.
What's his actual villain name though? Kingpin. I'm sorry. I kept thinking Fisk and Wilson because that's his name.
That's what they call it.
I thought that final fight. Because he's back in his old on the street outfit, the black outfit.
That black outfit was peak. I don't once he became the actual Daredevil outfit, I stopped liking him as much. Mostly because
I kind of agree because it's he became too official. He wasn't a street. He wasn't a street hero anymore. He was like, all right, now I'm part of the MCU. Even though he wasn't part of the MCU, but kind of came off that way. I like that
My
he was like,
favorite.
I'm in a black outfit.
Like, he's just a regular guy. He doesn't have like an official uniform, and that's
Yeah.
honestly my favorite portion of every hero's story. Is like when Spider-Man's just like a regular guy in a wrestling uniform, just beating up criminals. Yeah, that's like the part that I really
Yeah.
like. I like when they're dealing with
Speaking of
street
that, Josh,
level
not to
regular
interrupt you,
thugs.
Apparently they're gonna make a cartoon that's of Tom Holland's version of Spider-Man.
Yeah, I know about that.
And
But it's gonna
supposedly it
have
keeps
the
getting.
Daredevil and Wilson Fisk actors from the live action come in.
So
Now,
like,
whatever.
I prefer.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, this is the thing about Daredevil is like he's dealing with the people that you wish were actually dealt with. He says in one scene is like, yeah, so I heard that like through my super hearing, I knew there was a guy who was abusing his daughter. One
Yeah.
night I just had enough of it, and I went and I found him and I beat the absolute crap out of him to near death, and it was the easiest I've ever slept in years. And you're like, yeah, good. I want that guy to suffer. I wanted that guy to suffer more than Wilson Fisk could ever suffer.
Yeah.
Because,
Here's
like,
the
that's
thing.
real. That's grounded. I want that.
I would say Disney couldn't do that, but it was getting to the point with that show that their own show couldn't do that. You know what I mean? Like they moved away from the gritty. I hate using that word gritty because it's so cringe, but like what's another word for that? Like just down to earth.
Just grounded. Grounded.
That's a perfect word, Josh. Grounded. He was a grounded hero that the show itself, before Disney even got involved, moved away from. So it's not even a Disney problem, even though I love hating on Disney. It's not even a them thing at this point. It's the show. So I'm glad it ended when it did, because it ended with, I think, season 3, him back in his outfit beating the living shit out of Wilson Fisk, and his wife was practically begging him to stop, and then he stopped. Like that. Oh, dog. I didn't watch season 3, but I saw that clip, and that was like
superhero story.
you know what? Let's watch.
Which
You guys want to watch? Man, can I just say I love this? That's just talking.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's nice to talk about shows and all that. I will say so here's my feeling on this. There was a comic story for Nightwing in which it was completely more grounded and more like it was basically a Daredevil story, but with Nightwing and his like roster, it was easily one of the best comic stories I've ever read.
I honestly feel like when I was growing up, I thought Nightwing was goated. This is before I even knew who Red Hood was and Jason Todd and all that. I thought Nightwing was like, holy shit. This is Robin who said, fuck Robin. I'm gonna have a cool outfit and do the shit.
I'm gonna be the cool guy.
Yeah, and I thought that was the coolest shit imaginable.
I ain't gonna be the Robin no
I
more.
feel as though from things like I'm not a comic reader. I don't read comics, but I see clips of the cartoons of the comics. People talk about it. I feel as though Nightwing gets disrespected.
Yeah, he does.
I feel that. So, like, off the comic I read, which was like his actual old, like his first original run of, it was like his first original run in which he like first entered Bloodhaven. Like his struggle there, where like originally he doesn't have all the money of Bruce. Like he is just like a guy with training, just trying to.
Dude, that's how I was introduced to the character. He was a guy with an apartment building and a bike. That was it. And I love that. This guy was doing what Batman, he was doing it, because, he's not Jason Todd. He's not killing people. But he's
just trying to save people. And, like, he has the
reason I
charisma.
love this so much is because of Spider-Man. Like, a lot of the reasons I love superhero stuff is because of the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies. Because it just reminds me of Peter. Peter is in a bumfuck nowhere apartment, no life, no anything. And he's still doing what he can to save the people he can. And that's how I saw Nightwing. Nightwing is in a bumfuck,
Nightwing's
apartment.
all that, but without even the powers. So, like, my favorite bit.
Exactly. He
So,
had
like,
nothing
his
except
story
the skills that
and
Batman taught him.
like the way how he went about it, I really relate. Like, I found his story like really good and relatable with how he acted with Batman. He's like, Batman, I was like, he eventually like was really like, I don't, I gotta.
Yeah, I know initially it was like, fuck off, Batman, I quit. We're done. Yeah, that's how it started, but that's not how it ended.
It was like a down to earth, like how a father and son usually go with that.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like, you start off with my own father, and everyone has that shit with their father.
Yeah, you super respect your father. You're like, oh, this is the guy, and then you grow up and you're like, you start seeing flaws in your father.
Yeah.
I don't agree. I don't think your way is the best anymore. So he goes away.
So like
and
the average person, I should say person. It's so relatable, and like he's the best of what people wish they could be, in my opinion. Like he's like, no one's gonna be like Bruce Wayne, who has all the money to get all these degrees and training, all that. He's like Daredevil. That's why I love Daredevil. That's why I love Spider-Man. But Spider-Man obviously has powers. But Daredevil, Nightwing, they're on the ground. They don't have much going for them. Obviously, Daredevil has much, a little more going for him than Nightwing power-wise. But it's not like super strong. You know what I mean? It's not like, you know what I mean?
I know you mean. It's so his story and the way how it goes down with like him feeling the real stress of like, I have to be perfect, otherwise I'm failing Batman. Like even though he hates and detests Batman and how he goes, he still like,
but he knows he's doing it the right way.
He still super respects Batman, and he's like he looks back and he's like, this guy, like even though I hate him, he's also like, that's my father. He did the best in the situation. Now that I've gone through this and I got my own perspective, I realize he
wasn't entirely wrong.
It was like that guy. I don't know how he did it. I don't know how he did it. Now, like Nightwing story is even more interesting because like when he first got into Bloodhaven, he didn't have like a Jim Gordon. There was no good cops. It was just him. In fact, the cops were so bad that he had to become a cop. And I really loved the development between him and Bruce and how that relationship played out, because it originally went from like, their super. It was great seeing Bruce Wayne develop into Alfred, because he was like originally like he's like, oh, I gotta go out there, I gotta risk my life for the city, and then he sees
that's kind of why Batman Beyond's I think is like, Batman Beyond is such a goated series because he takes that role.
Yeah,
and also what I like to say real quick, you guys know that Harley Quinn series has been out the past couple of years?
Yeah,
that joke.
It's not even just that series, but also the comics. They regularly, I think in the comics, they sexually assaulted Nightwing and made a joke of it. And then in the cartoon, they sexualize him constantly, and the whole joke. Like I think he died, and
they showed his ass casket
because he had such a thick booty. I understand, I really do. Comics can sexualize women and whatever, and that's fun. But if Wonder Woman were to die, I don't think they would have had a coffin with her ass, sticking. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah.
And I get the Harley Quinn show is supposed to be a comedy and all that, but like it's just.
Yeah. Really it's just so fucking distasteful. It's like I know they're not real people, obviously, but it's like
I will tell you my peak favorite moment for Nightwing, because Nightwing, like for the most part, he will be like your honest to goodness, just like regular boy wonder with a bit of an edge to him.
Because he still has Robin in him. Yeah. He's not like Jason Todd. He's still Robin, but
there was an instance where a villain messed a bit too much, and you saw like that man really said. Because there was this one woman that said, "Oh, you son of a," and he stops her, and he's postured just like his old man. He says, "Oh, you know who I'm the son of."
And that's what I love. I love comics that I don't like Injustice for the way they portrayed Superman. I don't like evil Superman stories. I think it's stupid.
The whole idea that Lois being dead would just immediately turn him insane, I feel like has always been kind of hacky.
But at the end of the day, there was a scene.
I'm sorry, but what I was gonna say was I like how because Damian joined Superman, and Batman's response was basically, "No, I don't accept you. You killed my son,
my real son."
Was, Dick. Yeah, I love that. I love that.
That's great.
Even if I don't like the plot of the story, I like how Bruce was like, Nah, Damien.
Well, I'm fine with the
killed my
overall.
first son.
Yeah, I'm fine with the actual story. I'm just not. Yeah, I think that like you. Yeah, evil Superman's kind of hacky. It just seems like kind of like.
It's just an
well,
overdone
At
thing.
this point, it's just overplayed.
I guess, and to be fair, in Injustice, it's not just Lois Lane. It's because he literally makes him accidentally
here's the
destroy
thing.
Metropolis.
In the comics give it a bit more depth. Because those are supposed to be like.
Well, that along with
game.
Lois was pregnant, right?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
too. So yeah, it's like a combination of all of it. Yeah.
And the thing is, like, originally Superman didn't want to like go straight to "I will murder every criminal." So the comics are like prequels to the game. And that's why like it actually gives him a bit more like
Yeah.
depth to it, and like he doesn't immediately go to that extreme. But I will say for Nightwing, there was an instance where like he basically has a Kingpin as his villain, and the villain finds out all of Dick's life. You know, he finds out who he is and all that, and he burns down the apartment complex that Dick used to be in, and it killed like a whole lot of innocent people. And Dick had lost so many people at this point. He's like, "All right, want to play this? We can play this." So he finds the people that burned down the building. And he burnt down the building, like he starts burning the building they were in, and they're like, "Oh God, what's going on?" And they manage to escape the burning building, and Nightwing's waiting right outside for them, and he's like, "Oh, where do you think you're going?"
Frank is just committing suicide over and over now.
No.
He grabs them both by the arm, drags them back into the fire, and he says, "Oh, you feel that? You feel the fire burning up the hairs on your arm, the sizzle on your skin?" Yeah, let me tell you,
This was Dick against who?
This was Dick against the people that burned down his apartment complex and killed a whole bunch of innocent people.
Oh.
So he grabbed the people that like burned down the building. He's like, "You feel that? You feel that heat as it sizzles up to your hairs?" You know, where the first floor
Yeah.
went, those people died immediately. They got out quick. Second floor, well. And he started describing all of it. He held them in the flames for like a solid 2 or 3 minutes, just having them feel the effects of flames on them.
I honestly feel like Nightwing is the perfect balance between, you know, Jason Todd, Red Hood, and Batman.
Absolutely. He is like supposed to be like the balance between them. He's supposed to be the like the sidekick that turned out right, and Jason Todd's supposed to be like the sidekick that went out wrong. It's supposed to be the both sides of the same story.
I still love Jason Todd. I think Jason Todd's like the second best Robin. But
I definitely think Jason Todd provides his own like interesting like like he provides his own thing where it's like, all right, this happens if you don't kill people, you get this. And if you raise a Robin, this is the story you can get. It's not always going to be perfect, but Nightwing is supposed to be the version of, all right, things did work out.
And then you get Tim, where he just forces himself on Batman.
I'm sorry.
That's only how his like
Every
origin
Robin
goes.
after
Is he
Jason
just
Todd is
stalked him?
So boring.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Well, that's only Tim's origin. Is just, oh, I'm gonna stalk Batman and harass him.
I don't give a shit about, you know, Tim Drake. I don't give a shit about Stephanie Brown or the fifth Damian Wayne.
Fuck Damian Wayne. Yeah.
Honestly, I think my least favorite Robin is Damian Wayne.
Damian Wayne.
I could bother with Tim Drake.
But I hate how modern comics are now trying to change that. We're saying, oh, Dick Grayson, he wasn't the first Robin. It was actually this girl named Robin.
That's retarded.
Fuck off.
Yeah, exactly.
You have female, like you could have a chick Robin, that's fine. You had Stephanie Brown, you had the chick from.
So they went. Oh, I actually.
Dark Knight Returns.
Our Robin, my first real Robin came back. I try to make everyone forget about her because I used my prep time bat powers.
What?
To make everyone forget about her.
What?
But now she's back.
I used my prep time bat powers.
Basically, it was like I made everyone forget that she had ever.
Josh is simplifying it, but you know, it's like a Men in Black type shit.
Where he had made everyone forget that Robin had ever existed, and it was just like because she eventually went psychotic. I'm like, so not only are you robbing Dick Grayson of the title of first Robin, you're also taking away Jason Todd's story.
His whole role.
An idea for a Batman movie. So the commercials would be very general, you know, like to show Batman doing his shit. And then the very beginning of the movie, you know, you have the classic origin, but, you know, Bruce is shot instead of them and...
Oh, Flashpoint, yeah.
Yeah, do Flashpoint, but, like, do it right.
Thomas
like,
Wayne.
trick people. Yeah, Thomas Wayne. and then Martha is Joker do that. Because at this point, we've seen the origin of Batman so many fucking times with so many different actors.
Oh my
Do something
god.
different.
I can't even
Don't
believe they
let
did that
people
in the
know.
opening of like Batman versus Superman. I could not fucking believe my eyes that I had to see that shit
Oh, yeah.
again.
I will
yeah.
say that the Nightwing comics, that run, is probably my favorite run of all comics. I've read Ultimate Spider-Man, and like that's good, but the story between Nightwing and like how he slowly builds himself and becoming like a proper functioning like Batman for this one town, and the fact that he nearly wins, like he sort of gets what he wants. He has to go through like darker means. Like he does it in a way that Batman never could because he starts like sort of like working with the criminals and gets them to work under him, and that's how he achieves true peace. And like that is great. I like that. He does it. He manages to succeed because it's something that Batman would never agree to. Not because he's just better than Batman. It's because that's something that Batman's moral code would never agree to.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. And then Crisis on Infinite Earth reset that, and it was a much worse story.
Of course. Because comic retcons, they can't have anything
like
good.
So here's the thing, Frank. Nightwing reaches a point where like he beats his Kingpin, and like he beats him to near death, and he's like, "Oh, but I know you'll never kill me." And this woman that like Nightwing's sidekick.
Oh, I saw that. Wasn't Aunt May put in like critical condition? So, you're talking about something else. I'm sorry. He's like, I thought you just said Kingpin. So
it's a Kingpin-esque character.
Okay.
Nightwing's villain.
See, I thought you were doing, Frank, I thought you were doing a bit because the whole universe reset thing seems so similar to fucking
No.
One More Day.
Well, the reason, like you said, he goes off and Kingpin. I was thinking of Peter when he was like, "Oh, you put Aunt May in the hospital. I'm gonna beat the living shit out of you in front of all these prisoners."
Yeah, so it was
then,
sort of like that, where like the guy had done all this, like he'd ruined Nightwing's life, so he just starts going at him, starts beating the crap out of him. But like when he finally defeats him, he's like, "Oh, but I know you'll never do the job. I know you'll never kill me." And then like Nightwing's sidekick, who's named like Tarantula or something, shows up, and he's like, "Oh, you
Tarantula.
want to kill me? Well, guess what, bud? I know Nightwing. He's literally thinking of every possibility to save my life right as we speak." Nightwing, why are you walking away, bud? Nightwing?
Oh.
Nightwing, why are
Hello?
you walking away? And Nightwing
Peter?
just straight
Peter!
up walks away, and Tarantula kills that Kingpin. And like, Nightwing has this moment of like, he straight up breaks down. He falls to his knees and starts crying, saying, "I'm sorry, Bruce, I failed you. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I can't believe I let you down, man." And then Tarantula shows up and rapes him. It was a dark story at that time.
Oh
But,
boy,
God.
that sounds lovely.
Yeah, she
So
rapes.
I know in Batman Beyond, Tim Drake apparently becomes the knockoff Joker through torture. He kind of gets the Jason Todd treatment, but they give it to him.
they
What happens to Dick Grayson in that story? They just don't talk about him?
He so what happens is like he eventually gets pushed so far that he just like he's so tired he doesn't care. He's like, I've been up for like three or 4 days straight. I've lost everything I ever cared about. My relationships, my friends, they're all dead. I don't care anymore. So he walks away and lets it happen, and by then he's just so broken down that he had let a person die that he just fell apart and just couldn't even bother responding. And Tarantula, who was his sidekick, who was really into him, she was
This
a
is in
woman.
the Batman Beyond universe still?
No, this is not the Batman Beyond. This is just Nightwing's
Oh, well, that's what I was
comic.
curious about. Like, what happened with Dick Grayson in the Batman Beyond show? Or, like,
He just kind of left.
Well, yeah,
Oh.
we can just go with that and not the real answer, which is much more depressing.
Oh, what's the real depressing? Because I honestly forgot. I thought he just like left and you never see him.
Barbara Gordon decides to leave Dick Grayson for his adoptive father.
Well, I know
has a
that
whole
part.
life with him and gets
Yeah.
pregnant.
Yeah.
And Dick Grayson says, "Holy hell, you just literally robbed me of my love and got her pregnant. I'm gonna fight you." And then Barbara has a miscarriage, and then Dick decides, "I'm done with all this," and just never talks to Bruce again for years.
Thanks, Bruce Tim.
Yep.
Fucking thanks.
so
Fucking ass.
he was with Barbara. Barbara got raped and impregnated. And
No, not. It was consensual.
She,
but it's just,
once he left, she just sort of moved on to Dick Grayson's father, Bruce Wayne. It was not. It was statutory, technically, I guess.
No, I think she was like college age at the time, so it's not technically, but it's still fucking fucked.
That's what the fucking Killing Joke animated special did.
Bruce Timm was a producer. That's why he really likes that idea for some reason.
Yeah, it's pretty gross because like Barbara Gordon was always like what, younger than Bruce, way closer to the Robin's age at the time.
At the very least, 10. If we want to be generous and say that Bruce is in his 30s, then she's 10 years younger than, or 15, 10 to 15.
If you want to be generous, yeah.
If you want to be ridiculously charitable,
Either way, which I mean, whatever. But there was always more of like a. I don't know.
Well, I kind of like. I feel like I heard like a take on it that I feel like I kind of agree with, which is like, all right, like yeah, maybe Barbara would have those feelings for Bruce. You could kind of see that, you know, some women like have like a thing for like, you know, old kind of like, well, not old, but like older guys and shit like that, and like especially mysterious ones like Bruce. But Bruce should never reciprocate. That is the difference.
Yeah,
Bruce,
exactly.
it should never.
Initially, she was like, "Oh, well, you know, hey, Batman." And, you know, I don't see a world that's natural. And I saw the animated Killing Joke where they made it a thing. It seems so unnatural for Batman to be like, yeah, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
So there was, I really like the dynamic between, like I've said, like Batman sort of takes on a Alfred type role where he's, I even remember the conversation, it's hilarious because Alfred's also there for it, in which, Nightwing gets like shot because he's just so like hardcore on his vigilante stuff, and Bruce is like, "You're taking too many risks. You're over pushing yourself. What the hell's wrong with you?" And Alfred's just going quietly, "I wonder where he got that from."
Hey, I mean, shit, Jake.
And yeah, I do like how Batman just becomes that. Like he just becomes overprotective. He's like he just becomes Alfred. I do like that. And
yeah,
to that like there's even then you'll still have moments where like Nightwing shows up at his apartment complex before it burns down and all that, and it's just him living his life, and Bruce Wayne shows up and he's like, "Oh well, this is just my dad." And like Nightwing's landlady's like, "So they're just making guys like that over in Gotham." My god, I should
head over there right away.
It's a shame they decided to never fall on that romance for Nightwing and the landlady.
Oh well.
It was a lot more enjoyable than Barbara Gordon, but you know, I won't get into that whole nonsense. But yeah, Nightwing basically
this is better than Gwen fucking the Green Goblin.
Yeah.
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 Oh man.
You know what they tried to, what the worst part is in that comic, they literally try to use that excuse that I used earlier, where it's like, the excuse I used earlier, which is like, oh well, you know, some, like, you know, some women, like, kind of, you could see them, like, being attracted to, like, an older guy, but they did that with Norman Osborn. He was, like, in his fucking 40s, and he's just some random, like, businessman.
Peter at the time, but...
And she was dating, yeah.
Like a college student, like 22, 21.
Yeah, as gross as the Killing Joke is, at least she didn't have a committed relationship at the time, it seemed.
I guess, yeah.
I'm not saying it doesn't make it much better, but it's at least a plus.
Yeah. I do like how Nightwing finally has his breaking point, and then he just decides, because here's the thing, he wants to die. Like, he desperately just wants to just have a big fight, and someone kill him, to the point where he finds out Deathstroke, Slade from Teen Titans in town, and he's like,
oh, speaking of fucking Deathstroke, isn't Deathstroke like a...
Yes, but we won't get into that.
He's a what?
Yeah.
I don't know this.
He's a pedophile.
Oh, for the love of fucking Christ.
But,
his own daughter, by the way. But
oh, for fuck's sake.
No, Tara wasn't his daughter. He just
Tara
raised her as
Strong?
one.
Is that what you're talking about?
No, I'm talking about Tara, like the Earthbender person from Teen Titans. Tara Strong is a voice actress.
Yeah.
Did something happen with...
Who was the blonde chick in Teen Titans that kind of mauled herself after,
Tara.
Oh, that's what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, so Slade decides to, get with her and pimp her out. It was a disgusting story, but anyway.
I prefer the Teen Titans version of Deathstroke where he was just cool.
It was just creepy, yeah.
But yeah, in this version, he was kind of just a cool guy, in which Nightwing finds out that he's in town. He's like, all right, I'm gonna, send an invitation out. Tell your boy that I'm out here, really. And Nightwing and Slade show up, and Slade Wilson literally says to him, Nightwing, oh my God, I'm so proud of you. You're being like an enforcer. Oh my, I've been here. This whole mercenary wants to die act. Classic, kid. Classic. I'm really digging it. And then Nightwing's like, all right, stop talking hands. And then he just starts fighting Slade, and Slade's like, yo, I got my daughter here today. Like, it's my day with her.
Yeah.
I
Can we
can't
not?
be really about that. Like, I'm not really about that life. And Nightwing's like, what? Your daughter? What? Like, bro, I'm trying to, and he's like, yeah, listen, hey, you were raised by the vet, and, this whole mercenary motif. You want to teach my daughter how to, do the business? Try and,
Remember they pulled that in the Suicide Squad movie with Batman and Deadshot?
A little bit. But,
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so Nightwing basically teaches Slade's actual biological daughter how to be, a proper mercenary, and teaches her all these things, and eventually gets her to go against his dad, or to go against her dad.
Yeah.
And then he says, alright, so here's how it's gonna be. If you want, your daughter to work by your side, guess what, bud? You're not able to do your work in my town. So you're gonna stop this bullshit. You're not gonna do any of this. You're gonna perform work in my town. However, if you want to just, be safe and not do anything, I'll even provide you sanctity. I won't let a single superhero or cape in my town. You just gotta promise me no supervillains act in my town, and we got a good thing going here. It's like, alright, I'm hearing you out. You don't want... I will perform business in your town. No capes perform business in this town. And Nightwing had also had ties to the mob at this point, so he's like, alright, all low-level crimes being, siphoned through, and they're going to be reaching a good level where they won't be doing anything too bad. Supervillains won't be in this town because he just got Slade on his payroll, and no superheroes are going to be bothering in on his town like Batman, so he has his role. He won! Nightwing achieved 0 crime for 24 hours. He did it. He won.
Yeah.
And then Crisis on Infinite Earth ruined it.
Like it does most things.
In which Slade breaks his promise, commits crime, kills a whole bunch of people, and then the whole world gets reset, and Nightwing's no longer married to Batgirl. He doesn't have a big win in his pocket for the crime on Bloodhaven. He's not even in Bloodhaven. He's just messing around fighting demons or something.
Great.
Which, yeah, I just didn't care for because it doesn't make any sense for Nightwing of all characters to be fighting magical beings.
But it was all worth it for that Death of the Family comic where none of them die and Joker's face gets ripped off and then he just comes back with a face next time.
But his daughter, who's not actually his daughter, but the chick who says he's his daughter, wears the face, so that's cool, right?
Ain't that something?
Until there is a continuity where in which it is his daughter that he had with someone that was married to Harvey Dent. And then
Great.
Robin marries her and has a life, but then we don't see the full actuality of that because they decide to get rid of that plot line. Anyway, yeah, I don't really like modern comics, but I do like the OG run of Nightwing.
Yeah, I like the original run of Ultimate Spider-Man too. Yeah.
I would highly recommend the Nightwing comics to anyone interested. I also recommend the Cade comics to anyone interested.
Oh, I definitely want to do the K comics. That'd be hilarious. I really want to see the ones where he's just talking to the Force Ghost of Anakin, just being like, "Fuck off, I don't care," or like Luke, rather.
If you just go to I think it's called Star Wars Legends. It is just Cade's story, and there's Anakin, Mara Jade, Luke all show up in Force visions. Man, you gotta fulfill your destiny. He's screw off, man. I don't want this destiny.
I just want to get
and enjoy my life.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I just want to do more drugs and just have fun, idiot.
I honestly, in the wide range of Star Wars character, K's number 2.
What was your number one? Yeah, what was your number one
He's-
again?
Number 1 is just Luke Skywalker because he's the start of it all. But
Yeah.
number 2 is easily Cade Skywalker.
Bold statement.
More than Revan, more than the Exile, more than Starkiller, Cade Skywalker is an actually enjoyable and interesting character. That's my opinion on Cade Skywalker.
Honestly, probably Exile and or Kreia and the Exile are probably my favorites.
And
Yeah.
I won't even think I won't even argue. Those are definitely good, real well-written characters.
Oh, I'm not arguing
But-
either. Yeah.
But Cade's story is so because he falls back on things. Like he tries to get over his problem with with drugs and death sticks, and he falls back on it. Anytime things get too stressful, he falls back on it. And I'm like, that's a relatable thing. It's not that cut and dry. It's not that easy. You don't get over addictions just because you're like really inspired one time. And then you have this whole other story because there's like 2 other good. Like, I really like stories like other factions all working and like doing their own thing. There's a whole other story with like an Imperial trying to overthrow Crate through means of politicals. And they're just doing all kinds of like, manipulation, all that. It's really enjoyable. I really like it.
Hey, well, you know what? Glad you found something you like. I should read it.
highly enjoy Cade's story. I like how he just refuses anyone to die, so he keeps using his dark side powers, even to the point where it's like, no, I wanted to die, and now I'm in this eternal suffering, because he tries to save a girl who was like a childhood crush of his, and like they had like an actual love thing together. And then she dies fighting a Sith, and she's like, oh, well, now it'll be one with the Force. And Cade is so against ever accepting someone dying that he willingly brings her back to life using his powers. And now she's in like a Vader-esque suit because it's the only way she can live. And she's like, damn you, Cade Skywalker, for not adhering to my wish. I wanted to die, and now I'm like this.
You've ruined my
I
life.
got a lot of
literally.
alien pussy after that.
You did.
He did.
Oh, my
That's
true
what's
love
cool.
is stuck in a robot suit. Anyhow, this pink chick's hot.
Basically. I mean, he does, properly get like a whole marriage with her. Even though her race is not even designated for marriage, she's supposed to have multiple partners throughout her life. But Cade is so built different that it overcame
She's so
that.
built different. She's like, you know what? You're my one. No.
You're all I
And the
need.
sad thing is, he's the one cheating on her constantly. But like,
Jesus.
I do just like Cade's story because like he clearly does care for her, but to him, dark side is like a whole other addiction. It's just power, having everything you ever want. Like, it's not good that he does these things. They make it sure that you know that it's not that he wants these things, but he keeps doing it. Even
He was the
Cade
one that
himself
fought
will go,
like Vader in a white suit, right?
No, he does fight Vader in a vision, but he does not in a white suit. I really actually like
He was
fight
Vader in a
Vader.
white suit.
Vader in a white suit is in the What If comic of What If Vader survived the whole Return of the Jedi. That's what you're thinking about. However, there is a scene. There is a scene where everyone's like, "Cade, you can't be into the dark side. The dark side's bad." And then Anakin just says, "All right, you want dark side? Here's a whole cart dark side." And he transforms into Vader, and starts beating up Cade.
Hey,
It's
I really gotta do.
it's one of my favorite scenes where he's just like, all right, you want to be about this? Well, guess what? No Skywalker of mine is gonna be Darkseid, and I'm pussy. You're gonna be it, man. You're not gonna fall off. There's no half-assing this shit, man. Like,
Fair
yeah,
enough.
that's all right. That's a Skywalker I can agree with. That's an Anakin I am totally
Hey.
for. He's
Yeah.
like, oh, you want to be Darkseid? Guess what? You gotta fully commit. We don't half-ass things here, boy.
come on now, buddy.
See,
You have a legacy.
those are usually like my favorite type of Jedi, is almost like the Ram Koda types, where it's just like an actual like general, or like the fucking or like almost like a football coach, angry football coach, just being like, "Get in there, boy."
Yeah, I definitely love Caden's story. I'm so surprised that he never got anything other than that comic and book. I'm like, this is a good character. He deserves like an animation at least.
Honestly, I just imagine Cade sounding like Jotaro, just because I imagine his relationship with Luke being like Jotaro and Joseph.
Basically.
That's literally the only reason why.
I mean, he is. Like,
Damn it, old man! I'm trying to get high.
they keep teasing the Six who definitely has a raspier voice.
Yeah.
Together, Josh.
Good grief, old man. You think you guys could get away without some Anakin Skywalker action? I don't.
I literally witnessed that. I just saw your character just do a cool flip, and then he
think
just.
you could get away without some Anakin Skywalker action?
I do, because Cade's messed up. Cade literally used his powers to revive and heal people to torture a Sith. Like, he beat her up, brought her back to life, beat her up again, and repeated the process until he brought her to Crate, in which he's like, Crate, run. This guy's off it.
Well, goddamn. I keep killing you guys and not the person who joined.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying.
Yeah, it's annoying to me too. It's just so easy, I guess. I don't know.
God, Cade,
You know, I don't
Billy,
believe you.
Of all people, would probably love Cade, because Cade does go into the gray area.
Oh,
He doesn't know
probably,
what's
yeah.
right or wrong.
Oh,
No,
this guy's annoying. He keeps hopping down when I.
That's why I'm saying I kind of wish you were targeting that guy, because he
Sorry,
is a prick.
Josh. You hopped in my way as I was fighting this guy, and he's hopped back up again. And he kicks me.
Noir is also.
Yeah, and then he falls and does all this shit. Yeah, he is really.
I'm excited for the Nick Cage Spider-Man Noir.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll stay down here. Actually, I'll stay in the bottom level. Oh, he kicked me.
I'll stay at the top then. Or should I? I don't know. I might follow him.
Yeah, just chill up there for now. He's gonna hop back up. He totally is. All right, Billy.
Yep. We need a ringer.
We disarmed him. We did it, boys.
We did.
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's get out of here.
You know, on the poll I made, Kylo did get the most votes on what's better written, Kylo Ren or the entirety of the Acolyte.
Well, I'm glad.
Well, there you go. Uh-oh.
Man, just trying to be peaceful, and then we immediately just.
I'm in danger.
And Josh just, he just.
Shit.
Oh, I'm taking him now. Oh. Well, that's about as well as I expected.
Wow, you suck.
Well, I did a jump. I thought I died. I didn't, and then I.
Oh my god, I gotta listen to him fucking say they have Cortosis armor 50 more times again. Yeah, I really don't need to listen to that same yell taunt over and over either.
Going after him. Fuck that guy.
You know what? If everyone else is, then I absolutely will join you in this quest.
I'm waiting for him down here. He's gonna hop down because he thinks he's smart.
And Joshua immediately is.
Well, there goes Josh.
Coming back up.
It's up to you, Bill. I can't make it up there. I have the low ground.
That's your famous four.
No help.
I mean, that's just true.
You bastard.
It's
Oh,
really
look at him
not.
go.
It's over, Obi-Wan.
Where you running,
Oh,
bitch?
yeah.
Where you running? Get killed. Oh, hi, Billy.
Hello.
Oh, my.
Hey, Billy.
Hey, Josh. I've seen quite a few bodies.
Josh, look out! We have a new enemy. I have no doubt that this is the hey, wait! Is the
I remember you
hey,
killed
hey,
me.
hey.
I'm on a different team now.
I have no doubt.
I don't like this. You know what I think that might be, actually? That looks like the old Star Killer model. Like if Star Killer grew old. It was like one of the skins in the first game.
He looks like the Wii version of Star Killer's dad.
Again, I think he has a white beard, which is why I think he might be the old Star Killer.
Dark Lord, whatever you want, you will find it here.
Oh, hi.
Yeah.
Oh, he left.
I keep trying to like boot him off, and sometimes it works, but it doesn't always.
No, I'm taking him now. Oh. Well,
We're kind of bad people.
good job.
We're kind of
good job,
toxic
Billy,
gamers. You didn't ask
I'm
for it.
taking him now.
Oh no!
It's about as well as it could have turned out.
A little bit.
Just about.
So, but you don't have to agree.
Damn, bro.
My whole desktop tabbed out. Oh, Lamau.
He added a no. What a crazy.
I hate this guy.
Yeah. As you like try to talk politely to him. I hate him. I wish he was dead.
Why are you on my forehead?
Because why not?
Hello, Billy. You don't know the. Oh my god! Apparently, due to the dark side of the force.
Nihilus, why would he not know?
He is kind. He is the dark side.
Oh, my killed idiot! Bill, Josh didn't see that.
I think we both saw it, brother.
I just see Josh in the big far away. He got a great view of the disrespect.
Billy, fight him.
Good. Use your aggressive feelings, Billy. Let the hate flow through you. Oh my god, Bill!
Well, he just wants me to know that they have Cortosis armor, and which I have to say is this.
Your hatred makes you powerful.
For some reason, I keep thinking that you're gonna say your hatred makes you weak.
What?
Yeah, exactly. You're right, I did have
Oh
it.
my goodness.
I count that as so
Get out of
impressive.
my meditation stance.
I don't know.
Stay in it.
That was funny.
Honestly forgot who killed who, not gonna lie. It's okay. I did what had to be done.
A lot of da.
I'm taking him.
The second he started his hand.
I killed him in a fair fight.
He was typing. Nonsense laughter.
Sense laughter.
That's fantastic. And by fantastic, I mean fantastically shit. Alright, I'll catch you later.
Now I will take advantage of this. Oh my god. I can feel your anger. It gives you focus, makes you stronger.
Alright, yeah, that was the last one.